Now, young father of three, John Joe Hooper, was overheard this week telling his local priest in a private conversation saying that Christians needed to rise up and take a stand. So the day after, a bishop was reportedly stabbed in a Sydney church by a teenage Islamist. OK, so that's the context here. Not even 24 hours later, two Sussex police officers and a senior NHS mental health worker decided to pay Mr Hooper a visit. And, well, here's the footage.
People have raised concerns.
What concerns?
About your views.
What views?
That you've got concerns about what's going on in Australia.
Yeah, so I'm an Orthodox Christian. Now you've turned up at my house because I went and see my priest. So because I've questioned about the church not acting on the behalf of Christians, you're now turning up here with mental health nurses, assuming that I'm some right-wing nutter.
Well, I'm very pleased to say that John Joe Hooper joins me now. John Joe, thank you very much. So go on then, just tell us a little bit more about what happened then. So what were you doing? You were talking to your priest and you said something about rising up, did you? And then the police at the door. Go on.
No, well, what happened was I went to the priest just to speak, like spiritual advice, purely what it was for. Half hour with him, spoke about what's going on with Christians in like Lebanon, Palestine, Pakistan, Nigeria, like all over. It is happening.
Yeah.
Conversation was had along them lines. Said you need to take a stand. Spoke about the LGB in the church as well. I'm allowed to speak about that with the priest. I just said to him, what's your opinion? You want to talk about it? Next thing you know, police turn up.
I mean, you are right that Christians all over the world are being persecuted, in some cases executed, actually, and there does appear to be very little outrage or media coverage about that, which is remarkable when you see the way that certain other groups of people are treated as well. So why did the police come then? Come on, so what was it that you said that they were particularly concerned about, and who tipped them off as well?
Taking a stand. That's why. That's the specific reason they turned up, is because I said Christians should rise up and take a stand. Just be counted and heard. I didn't call for violence, and I'm surprised you didn't play the rest of the footage, because there's a good 6 minutes on Twitter, and I know why you won't play it. So anyone wants to go and look, they can find
genuinely, because we haven't got the time. Is there a particular bit of that footage that you want to just tell us all about now? Because you're more than welcome to.
No, well, it's the fact that they allow hate preachers into the country, preaching the killing of homosexuals. God knows what else that goes on. And then you turn up on my door because I spoke to the priest in confidence.
Yeah.
And it wasn't the priest. The police said that it was someone's overheard the conversation. So I don't know what to believe.
Well, so conceivable. He's taking it at face value, which might be a bit tricky, I suppose. You say that someone's overheard the conversation and that they've decided to take a stand. I mean, you make a good point, which is that we can hear every single week. I play quite regularly on this show clips of certain things that maybe go on in certain mosques, for example, or certain things that you hear at Speaker's Corner, which I would argue are, well, I mean, borderline illegal, actually. You don't really see the police turning up there, do you? So why do you think that they knocked on your door?
It's easier to be biased against Christians than it is any other religion. We all know this. I don't need to say it live on air. You yourself know. Everyone in the country knows. It's okay to persecute Christians, disrespect Christianity. Can't disrespect other religion. Got to stop. It's getting silly now.
And when you said things like taking a stand, like you said there, you know, you're not calling for violence, you're not causing for any kind of, violent action, I suppose. And you made that clear to the police, from what I gather, from what I've seen in the clip. How have they left it with you then? I mean, are you on some kind of watch list now?
No, well, I've got 22 minutes. A journalist came from another newspaper. It's online. I'm not sure. I think it might have been the Mail. They see the full 22 minutes, and even they didn't write it up in their newspaper correctly. The police specifically said there was no violence in it. You can even see them saying that on the Twitter videos as well. I had to post it. I had no choice to. Who would believe you? God's honest truth. Who would believe you? Oh, I went to see my priest the other day. I had a conversation about faith, and the next thing you know, I've got police and mental health nurses standing up. Who would believe it if it wasn't filmed?
Yeah. Well, that's true. I mean, just understand. What do you think it says about Britain, though? Seriously, I mean, we've got huge amounts of problems going on. I think I did a report yesterday. You've got crimes like shoplifting's at an all-time high, for goodness' sake. You've got all of this stuff, you know, and you know, here we are in a Christian country, you having a conversation with the priest and the police and the mental health workers at your door. I mean, it's bonkers, really, isn't it?
I don't think it was a priest. I reckon it is what they said. But the only person that I gave my name to was the priest. The police officers were fine, to be fair. They were quite nice. They didn't hardly do any of the talking. It was the nurse that done most of the talking. And it's coercive behaviour. If you listen to the footage, it's passive-aggressive questioning, trying to coerce a situation. I've had no repercussions from the police or anything like that. I've made the complaint to the police. I'm trying to complain to a group called PALS. There's something to do with patient and liaison, but I'm not getting nowhere with that. I had no choice but to put this out there. I've been a nervous wreck for days. Look, I've gone pale as a ghost now. I feel sick doing this.
It's an important.
I only went to see the
it's
priest.
an important thing. Sorry to cut across you, George, but I think that's a really important point to get across, actually, because this affects people, right? I mean, this affects when police knock on your door and, you know, a mental health worker turns up and all of that stuff. It does have an impact on you, right? You'd have to be, really unhinged if that didn't affect you in some way, shape or form. You mentioned there that you think it is quite coercive behaviour. I'm inclined to agree with that, you know, and I do feel for you. I do hope that you're all right. I mean, are you still quite worked up about it all, or are you getting over it now?
Well, it depends now. It all depends on what whoever sees this, because this is going to be broadcast to millions. Again, it's been seen millions of times already, but I don't know. It's like the quiet before the storm, if you know what I mean. I know I've put my head above the parapet and I'm expecting arrows to come my way, because this is going to offend a lot of people that are in charge in this country right now.
Let's have it right then.
I haven't been, I don't want to interrupt you, I really don't want to sound abruptive, but I've been contacted by none of the proper mainstream media, the BBC, the Sky News, and I know if this has been seen millions, and they're talking about it in America. I had to put out a statement on Twitter because they're confusing it, saying I posted it on social media. I didn't. So there's already people that are using it for their own agendas. I get that. So this is more to just clear up the point. This is about Christian.
Yeah,
I'm getting messages from guys in Lebanon. So.
Well, look, John Joe, I wish we could. I'm fast approaching the end of the hour, right? I would love to continue to talk to you even more, but what I will say is you are, I think, echoing the views of a lot of people, which is that you see Christians persecuted all over the world, and there doesn't appear to be too much front-footedness from a lot of Christian figures about this.
Just before I go, this isn't just about the Christians, though, man. This is happening. This is the English working class are getting it as well. This needs to be spoken about. It's not fair. Have a nice night.
John Joe, sorry to cut you off, but thank you very much. He's gone anyway. John Joe Hooper there. Right, look, a Sussex police spokesman says Sussex police were made aware of concerns, and I'll read the full extent of their reply when I come back.